So, Daily, two silents walk into a bar.
Okay.
I don't remember. What were we talking about?
Planet of the pudding brains.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Would you like a jelly baby?
Shut up!
Hello and welcome, Whovians. It's time to grab your scarves, grab your sonic screwdrivers, pull that lever, and we're going to go on another trip with the doctor because this is Musings of a Pudding Brain, and I'm Adam.
And I'm Matt.
All right. Spoilers because it's a brand new episode. It's a new episode. But yes, we're talking about episode... Oh, crap.
8.
Thank you.
Takes you away. Which, at first, I feel I've been bait and switched on this episode. I was fully...
You were expecting a Calgon commercial?
Yeah, actually, I was. I absolutely was. I was expecting Tropic Climbs. And... no. Total opposite. We're off to Norway.
Yeah.
But Norway, present day, 2018. And we learn a few things right off the bat. Like, the doctor eats dirt. Or is still... eating dirt, I should say.
Tasting.
At some point, we need to tell the doctor, like, stop licking rocks. You literally don't know where that rock has been. You don't even know where you might be.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop licking rocks. There's got to be a better way to gain information about the territory than literally eating dirt.
I do like Graham, Ryan, and Yaz's aside during that. And they're like, is that a fjord? Yeah, I think that's a fjord.
I think it looks like a fjord. Yeah, sure.
I was just like, oh, okay, guys.
Again, they're trying to figure out where they are because the doctor's quote-unquote getting her bearings by munching on the topsoil.
And driving the TARDIS is still not exactly... It's back to like the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, who's just like, pulling a lever. I don't know really where we're going, so let's go.
Yeah, it's kind of spin the wheel. But we also find out because a sheep... walks up on them and the doctor is startled for a moment and again it pulls the sonic screwdriver on it, which it's again I gotta ask like the same question the paddle doctor asked in Day of the Doctor, which is it's a sonic screwdriver. What are you gonna do? Build it a cabinet? Put it down? But she's apparently startled by the sheep before she figures out that it's 2018 because she's worried about having landed during the Woolly Rebellion.
Yes. The sheep seemingly...
rise up.
Yeah.
Apparently, because she mentions it being a bloodbath. Like 137 some odd years from in the future. Like, man, what did we do to the sheep? I mean...
I mean, at the same time, now I kind of also ask the opposite question. What did the sheep do to us?
I'm sure there are certain stereotypical locations in the maps where the sheep might have reason to
totally understand
uprise due to abuse. But
I just want to know what the revenge was.
Mention these regions. You all know where we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have to say anything. But
everyone's got a town nearby that's, you know.
Hey. But anyways, after munching on some soil, they decide to, just traipse about, and they see a cabin in the distance. And of course, hey, let's go knock on the door. Avon calling.
Let's just go see somebody.
Yeah, see what's going on. And as they get closer to the cabin, they realize that it's not boarded up like it's repairs. It's boarded up like forted up. It's barricaded.
Yeah. Now, I do have to say one little weird thing. Normally, when it's barricaded, it's boarded up from the inside.
Yeah.
Not from the outside. That I was just like, continuity error. Okay, but, to sell that it's trying to protect itself.
Right, and maybe we don't get a lot of good looks at the windows, so maybe it's boarded up on both
sides. Exactly.
But, yeah, typically you want the barricade to not be able to be ripped down from the outside.
I mean, that's kind of what every zombie movie has ever taught me.
Correct. Yeah. And, of course, the doctor's like, okay, this is weird. There's a cabin in Norway during the winter, which, by the way, it doesn't look like winter, and none of them are shivering. They seem okay.
I
Well,
blame
I'm
that
gonna-
on the TARDIS.
I was going to say, I'm going to chalk that up to the TARDIS field and just
Yeah.
go, okay, it translates things, internal heater, maybe,
Yeah.
gives you a cookie once in a while. It's
Totally
nice
all
like
about
that.
cookie.
But the doctor talks him into it and it's like, just to have a clear conscience, let's go pop in,
Yeah.
say hello. Like, okay. Uses the sonic to unlock the door, which has 3 locks on it. Weirder and weirder.
Yeah. What do you need 3 locks for?
They don't find anything initially. They find some like kid shoes, so they know there's a child in the house, or as Graham puts it, a psychopath who collects children's shoes.
But there's only one pair, so maybe it's an early on for the psychopath?
Maybe, but you never know these things. Initially, don't find anything. Ryan and Graham are sent off to investigate the upstairs,
Yep.
while the doctor and Yaz try and figure out what's going on. The boys, of course, stumble upon a girl in a wardrobe, literally, hiding in the cabinet, baseball bat in hand, just clearly terrified.
Yeah.
And they try and, do the startled horse routine, like, whoa, 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 we're here to help. It's okay.
It's okay.
Chill out.
Chill.
We're here.
Chill.
We're friends. Doctor and Yaz, of course, run to the sound of Graham and Ryan screaming like little girls.
Well, she did come out swinging, so...
Well, yes, but not manly. That's not gangster. It's totally not gangster.
Who said that Graham ever was?
Graham is totally gangster at times. He absolutely is. He's got a
He's done things in his
Godfather kind of thing going on. But we come to find out that the girl's name is Hannah, and she is scared of, quote unquote, the thing. Well, what thing? The thing that took her father. Okay, you're still not being very descriptive. Help us out here. We find out over a cup of tea that the father disappeared. They had just moved out recently. Lost his job and
quit.
something
it's
along
quit.
those lines. And the doctor keeps asking, well, what did this thing look like? And that's when they all clue in because of the obvious sunglasses Hannah's been wearing this entire time. She's blind. Duh. She has no idea what it looks like, but she hears it roaring all the time.
Right.
And Ryan, of course, maybe makes a faux pas in suggesting the fact that the father just took off.
Yeah, that was a...
Because,
it was kind of a...
He's like, what? Maybe he just took off. It happens. Like, dude, transference much.
Yeah, just because it happened to you doesn't mean it happens to everyone. And it shouldn't be your first go-to.
Yeah. And of course, Hannah's mother has died recently, hence why the father has kind of lost his mind a little bit.
He's not dealing with grief that well.
Moved out. But she knows he didn't leave because the boat is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, apparently, the monster hunts at the same time every day, which is really weird for any kind of wild animal to keep a very Swiss time sort of schedule as to its goings-on, which leads to the point, like, okay, so this may not be an actual, like, beast.
Yeah.
In the terms of it's got a plan. If it's coming at the same time, we may be dealing with somebody or something that with a little intelligence to it, which does not make the situation any better. Ryan and Yaz, amongst exploring the area, find a little like hunting shack, which again Ryan displays his girly scream when he's startled by a couple of dead pheasants hanging up, which he tries to defend himself like they're dead birds. That's not normal. I'm like, well, maybe in Norway it's normal. Like, you're in the woods. It's a hunting shack. Yeah, it's probably kind of normal.
It's normal.
You're lucky that's all you ran into, dude.
There could have been a stag in there.
Right. And of course, they find all kinds of like animal traps, bear traps.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's not
like
a good sign. What are these for?
An overabundance of bear traps.
A bunch of them. And as they're investigating this far more, the rest of the crew are walking along with Hannah, talking to her, and they hear the roar. And like, okay, everybody inside.
Yep.
Everybody right now, let's go. They get inside, secure the area. Graham sent upstairs for like lookout to try and get eyes on the thing, and everybody hunkers down when Graham hears a weird noise and like turns around to realize that the mirror he's looking at is not reflecting him.
There's no reflection.
Can see the room behind him, but not that. And of course he's looking at it and waving and gesticulating and getting closer and closer and closer to it. And Ryan appears over, so like, hey, that's weird. Like, don't do that. Like, you see Graham just wanted to like smack him on the shoulder. Like, that's not funny. Like, Ryan's laughing. Yeah, that's a little funny. Like, yeah, that was a little funny.
It was a little fun.
And then Ryan adds, like, we would know if we were vampires, right? Because he could tell, like, we're not reflecting.
We're not reflecting. Here. This is okay. This is a little weird. What's going on?
Right. And Graham has not learned the companion rule of don't touch.
No,
don't touch.
Hasn't.
Get the doctor. Don't touch, because of course he touches the mirror, and it gives him some kind of numbness. Like, it feels weird, and he feels like he's getting sucked in, and. The doctor shows up and pulls him back. He's like, all of you back off, back. Sonics the mirror. And, because, of course, and
yes.
Like, quote, locks out whatever they were trying to do in the middle of it, and is all very proud of herself, and basically freezes whatever's going on with the mirror.
Right.
And then sticks her face in. Like, I'm going in, hold on, and just, like, sticks the whole face in. Like, yeah, just, heads in.
Yeah.
Comes, like, head is fine, but comes back out. I was like, whoa, okay, that was a bit of a head wonk right there. Whew, but I think that's a portal. Portal to where? And what do you mean head wonk? And the rest of the crew shows up, and Hannah is terrified.
Yeah.
And, wants to go and find her dad. The doctor's like, no, you're going to stay right here.
No,
you stay here. And you know what, Ryan, you're going to stay with her, okay?
Ryan's like, yeah. Oh.
Yay. And Hannah's like, yay. Why him? But the doctor doesn't give him much of a choice and writes out on the wall, assume her dad is dead, keep her safe, find out who else can take care of her. And then, because Hannah can hear her writing on the friggin' wall, he's like, oh yeah, this is a map of the house to, map out your defensive points. So keep a good eye on this, and we'll be right back. And then Graham, and Yaz all jump through the portal, leaving
Ryan and Hannah behind.
Yeah, clearly happy about what they're doing. The portal they jump through leads to some sort of time-space path. The doctor is very vague about this because everything's just pitch black. They can't see in front of their faces, basically. The doctor pulls an old trick from Greek mythology and ties a little string at the beginning of their path.
Yep.
And so they can find their way back. I'm like, oh, yeah, great. Now, I hope there's not a minotaur in the middle of this. There probably is. It's the doctor.
Yes.
But they're creeping along, and she basically explains it seems to be some sort of buffer zone in between the portals. Like the portal was stretched in half, where they should have gone through one side and come out directly into the other world. They're now in this weird in-between space that she can't really explain.
Yeah, everything is being thrown off. It's just weird for her. She's like, this isn't right.
And as they're creeping along, they see a light off in the distance. So of course they're like, let's go that way to check that out.
It is a really weird dark shade of red, though.
Yeah, like,
but it's a light
pumping blood red sort of thing. And they get over there and of course encounter a denizen of the labyrinth, as it were.
Yes.
In the form of Ribbon of the Seven Stomachs, who, after they tell him, yeah, we're looking for this girl's father who may have come through here and she's really scared, we want to get him back to her. He's like, oh, a tale of such tragedy just makes me hungry. Like, okay, good talking to you. Can we have one of these lanterns?
Yeah, they're just like, and we're gonna head out.
And of course a knife gets pulled on Graham, who steps too close to the lantern, and it comes out he is like the worst capitalist ever anywhere. The Ferengi would be happy to have him aboard ship because he's pretty much just says, trade is possible, but you don't have any currency. But when he pulls the knife on Graham, the doctor again pulls the sonic screwdriver on the dude.
What was she going to do with it?
Yeah, especially against a knife. No mechanical parts.
Yeah. It's just a blade.
Yeah. I figure it's just a reflexive bluff at this point. Like, I'm going to do something, but you don't know I can't do anything. And Ribbon's demeanor changes immediately. Like, ooh, I will lead you and give you the lantern in good faith for your tubular. Like, did he just call the Sonic a tubular? That's
he did.
Dirty somehow. I don't approve. It's just, keep your hands off my tubular. The doctor basically tells him, okay, well, we have a deal, but payment on delivery. And Graham and Yaz are like, are you nuts? Don't give him the Sonic. Are you really going to do this? And like, well, listen, let's just find Eric first.
Yeah, then we'll figure out how not to do that.
Right, we'll figure out later. And Ribbon gives Yaz one of the lanterns, which looks like a floating blood balloon, basically. It's really creepy.
Pennywise would love this balloon.
Right, and off they go into the labyrinth. We flip back to Ryan and Hannah having a little tete-a-tete. Ryan is a horrible liar.
He is.
I mean, bless him, he has no guile to him whatsoever at all.
No.
And Hannah sees right through him immediately. Is like, so what's the weakest room we have? And he's like, the conservatory. What?
Really?
It's a cabin in the woods. It doesn't have a conservatory. Do you even know what a conservatory is? Yeah, he's like, oh, I mean the porch. Like, that's not a map, is it? Like, no, it's totally a map.
Totally a map. Yeah.
No, it's not. Why don't you want to help me? Why don't you like me? Because you said my father would leave. Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry. It's like, yep, you just got caught on being a dick by a little girl, dude.
Yeah, a blind little girl. Come on.
How's that?
Scared.
How's that feel? But Hannah basically tries to bum rush past him to get into the mirror.
And he's like, whoa, no.
Yeah, pretty much just picks her up, takes her out of the room, and then locks the door. Then she freaks out on him again, and that's where we leave back to the doctor trying to question Ribbons about everything and anything that's going on, and him pretty much just shutting her down. It's like, no, information is worth so much, and you don't have that sort of credit. So she gets basically no information other than he's gonna make you pay for any question you ask, and he seems to have been there. Just like, well, how did you get here? Since you're right next to a portal and you haven't used it. Like, oh, look at you. You ask all the clever questions. Still doesn't answer her.
No.
Just, I've always been here. So what, were you born of the Force? What's going on? How did you get here? You just appear, materialize. But as he's dodging and evading the questions, a little moth shows up and lands on the balloon. And
it's not a little moth.
Well, okay, it's a fair-sized, like, chihuahua-sized moth that lands on this lantern, and immediately Ribbons is like, okay, that's a flesh moth. Nobody move. It's your fault. You should have shut up. No talking. Throws a dead rat, and the moth goes off after it. He's like, okay, you guys, go ahead. I will clean up and follow after. Just move forward. And they're all like, okay, derp-a-der. And as soon as they're past him, he cuts their tether.
Yeah.
So they now have no string to get him back. It's just dragging behind him. Yeah. And, of course, off he comes. We flip back to Ryan, who is still having issues with Hannah, but seems to have her secured at the moment. But the roaring goes off, and he goes out to look out the window, and right next to the window he finds a wire kind of embedded.
It's a speaker wire.
Into the wall, which he starts pulling up and follows it outside into the yard, where he finds a speaker.
Yep.
That's blaring this monstrous roar.
which has been basically on a timed loop this entire time.
Right. So he goes trucking back inside to tell Hannah about this, and she hits him with the door, knocks him out.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, well done, but ow. Ow.
That's going to leave a headache.
A little bit.
He's going to have a mark in the morning.
Runs right for it, gets the key, and goes right through the mirror.
Yes.
Now, in this situation, she's the only one who has the advantage since the darkness will not bother her.
Nope.
But she finds the string the doctor had and starts following it. It's like, it's going to lead her right to the friggin' moths.
Yes.
Great. And we flip back to the rest of the crew where Ribbons basically decides to play his hand and grabs Graham and pulls another knife, which the doctor's like, you have a second knife. Oh, of course you have a second knife. Should have seen that one coming. He's like, yeah, you really should have. Really should have seen that coming from the creepy imp-looking guy who's living in the middle of a vampiric, moth-infested cavern that's pitch black, and he has the only lamps in the area.
Yeah, he really should have just been like, I have multiple of them. They're hidden everywhere.
Right. You don't even want to know where I pulled this one from. And, of course, he demands more out of them. It's like, you're in a weak bargaining position right now because you have no umbilical. Now I can lead you out, but that will cost more. And kind of implies that he's going to eat one of them.
Yeah.
But he never really gets a chance because the moth returns. And they're all like, crap, here we go again. Okay, this is the last rat. We gotta go. Tosses the rat. It doesn't go after it. Instead, it just sits there for a second, and because they keep talking, it sends out a screech and basically summons the swarm.
Oh, God, yeah.
This is in a moment of panic when Ribbons reveals the fact that they are in a quote-unquote anti-zone. And an anti-zone apparently is a place the universe creates as sort of a buffer where the space-time continuum is threatened, and it's got to keep something away from it or exiled. Ribbon reveals he's always been there, and he tries to grab the sonic screwdriver from the doctor. Graham executes a brilliant spear tackle.
Yes, he does.
It was from behind, but
whatever.
That's okay. American football rules. We'll give him rugby rules. He hit him good. Spears him to the ground. Sonic goes flying. The rest of the moths are alerted to everybody there, so then it's, okay, we need to just not move at all. The upside, of course, is the knife was also dropped, so Ribbon can't pull any crap. They're all worried about getting eaten.
Yeah, kind of the eaten is a little bit higher than maybe getting stabbed at this moment.
Yeah, maybe, but Ribbon apparently decides that getting the tubular... Yeah, the word amuses me.
The tubular.
Tubular, man, like, it's totally gonna be tubular. I'm just gonna, like... I can grab the tubular, and the moths won't eat me, and then I can get away from these pale, weird things, and I'll be fine. And the doctor's like, no, Ribbon, stop. Don't grab for the tubular. All right, I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
Ribbon makes a grab for it. Of course, it ends poorly for him because the moths are like, launch, and grab,
and just go for him.
Just go for him. The doctor slowly reaches and grabs the sonic, and they immediately beat feet in the other direction. They see a light. It's another portal. They dive through it.
Boom. Straight
without
through.
hesitation. At first glance, it looks like the room that they came out of, but nope, everything looks completely different.
Yeah.
And the doctor theorizes that they may have ended up on the other side of the mirror.
Ooh.
We get a quick flashback to Hannah creeping through the labyrinth, now knowing what lurks in there. Like, yep, she's gonna get eaten.
Yes.
Ryan has picked himself up off the floor and has followed her through the mirror, so now he's picking through and following the string, trying to catch up. We flip back to the doctor, Ryan, and Graham, nosing about the house they're in now, and they find Eric in the kitchen making breakfast.
Yeah. She's like, "What's up, guys? How you doing?"
No, it wasn't like that at all. The doctor was like, "Excuse me," and he about come through his shorts.
Yes, he
Just
did.
pulled the Sylvester the cat and like clinging to the room. Like, what are you doing in my house? What are you doing in your house? What are you doing here? Wait, who are you? Your doctor is terrified, or your daughter is terrified back there. The doctor is just pissed.
Yeah. She's like, "That's not cool."
Yeah, not cool at all, dude. And there's some funny back and forth where they basically call him out, and he admits to faking the monster to keep her there from wandering outside while he came over here. And Yaz is like, "Well, what about the bear traps?" "Well, because there's bears.
Yeah.
No monsters, but there's the occasional bear."
There's a bear.
Like, yeah, you're in the woods in Norway. There's gonna be a bear, dude. And just the look on his face is like, because there's bears.
Yeah.
Duh. Like, oh, okay. You're not a psycho. You're
No.
that's just strange for us. But he wanted to keep Hannah safe, and Graham and Yaz both want to hit him.
Yeah, because they basically go, you keep your idea of keeping your daughter safe right now is terrifying her.
And keeping her in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you possibly do that? And that's when Eric's wife enters the scene.
Uh-huh.
Like, she's dead. And she's like, "I know, but I'm here. I remember dying. I remember it happening, but I'm here."
Yeah, I remember all of it.
We find out that she can't leave. That's why they haven't gone to the other side. Quote, the other side of the mirror, not the literal other side. She seems to have already gone there and come back, which is leading to some of the confusion.
Or this is the other side.
And the doctor's like, "Okay." And no, Eric, you need to come with us, right meow.
And we need to go back.
We're leaving. When the wife is like, "Well, don't you want to go see your friend?" "Wait, what friend?" "Well, she showed up the same time you did." We skip back to the labyrinth where Ryan has finally caught up to Hannah in the anti-space and spills to her about the speakers.
Yeah.
And, they just have kind of an argumentative moment there. Like, "Your dad's a dick." "No, he's not." "No, he really is. I heard about these speakers." "No." "Well, I still want to find him." "Okay, well, fine. We're already this far. Let's go find him." And as they're arguing, a moth lands on the lantern.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to end badly.
Now I'm starting to think, because they had their own Ryan brought a lantern. The lanterns just naturally happen. And Ribbons was the ultimate capitalist. Was just like, these guys don't know that this is all over the place here, so
They're all mine, but no,
$1,000?
Ryan actually found the lantern that the first squad left behind.
oh yeah,
Hannah just walked past it because she can't see it anyway.
right.
But he found it and was like, "Oh yeah, yoink."
Ooh, good. I
And
got
because they were arguing, the moths were like, "Oh, dinner?" And start to congregate. Now we flip back to the rest of the crew outside the house, and Grace
Yeah.
is standing there.
Oh, that's
And-
an underhand. That's an underhanded trick.
Right. And Graham's immediate response is, "Don't do this to me.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be her." And Grace is like, but I am her. I remember dying. I remember being with you. I don't know how I'm here. I don't know what's going on, but it's me. It's really me. And he pulls out a necklace. "If you're really her, tell me about this necklace." And it's a little frog pendant, basically. And she tells him about him and Ryan basically buying the same necklace, and he because she likes frogs, and he keeps it on him now to remind him of her. And he's like, "Okay, correct answer."
Ooh,
Shit.
that's really not what I wanted at all.
In the meantime, the doctor is off to the side with Yaz and Elaine, I believe was her name, Eric's wife. Ellie, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Trying to figure out what's going on, because they can't possibly be here. They're dead. There's no coming back from dead.
Oh, Treen.
Treen. Okay. I was way off.
Yeah.
Right. Don't know where that came from.
I mean, Ellie's not a bad name.
No, it's all right, but I don't know where it came from. But yeah, but the doctor is brainstorming and figures out, okay, the anti-zone, it's a buffer zone to keep two different dimensions from touching. What could it possibly have to exiled? And oh, no way, no, it couldn't possibly be. And does one of those doctor moments where it's like they're talking to themselves, like, you know,
Yeah.
and everybody else is going babbling. What are you talking about? And
Let us
it's like,
know.
the Solitract. You know, I've told you about this. The Solitract. Yaz is like, I've literally never heard that word before ever.
No, not at all.
It's a myth. That's, you know, my granny used to tell me about it. It's like
a bedtime story.
It's a bedtime story. In the beginning, there was everything, all the building blocks of the universe out there. You know, matter and energy and maths and things like that. Like, how did that get in there? Really?
Really?
Like, algebra was always there. Was it an eternal torment, or you know, where did that come from?
Damn it,
but
algebra,
apparently,
why are you always asking me to find your ex?
right? I don't want to find your ex. I don't want to find your Y either.
Yeah, no.
But amongst all of this was this energy, this conscious energy called the Solitract, and nothing worked until the universe basically put it in a bubble and exiled it.
Put
and
it off to
pushed
the
it
side.
out of its own reality into a different dimension.
Put it in a box.
Where
put it up on the shelf.
Then
Close
everything
the closet
could,
door.
yeah.
Just went. Yep.
Put it
never
right
get
next
in-
to Tom Cruise.
Not the closet.
I'm not in the closet.
You're
Come
in
on
the
out,
closet.
Tom. Nobody's going to be surprised. We all know.
We know you're in there.
But so with it exiled, basically, this conscious energy exiled, then the universe was able to coalesce and everything worked. But our universe and that energy cannot coincide.
Yeah,
they
it'll
are
tear.
incompatible. They'll tear each other apart.
Right.
And Yaz just kind of takes all this and is like, your grandmother told you this as a bedtime story?
Yeah.
Really? It's like, what? And which grandmother? And the doctor's like, well, I had 9, but like, right, Time Lord family lines must be a real bitch to track.
That's Granny who and who?
The doctor hears a who. Yeah.
She's from the Who family.
Needless to say, the doctor figures out, okay, the Solitract has built the portals to lure people in because it's making a pleasurable dimension, and it's bringing back people that somehow it knows about, and
I'm willing to bet it's stealing the memories out of
right out of their brains.
Yeah,
and just working on it to make the perfect lore. The doctor wants to leave right now.
Yeah,
and
we
pretty
need to get
much
out of here.
Goes to tell Graham that, and like Graham has now bought that this is Grace.
Yeah,
and the doctor's like, it's not her.
It's such a
and she can't come with us. You have to choose right now. Do you want reality or do you want this illusion, this Grace? And Graham is just shredded. He's so torn. We flip from that heartbreak to Ryan and Hannah running from the moths. And we flip right back. The doctor gets...
I do like the flips in this one.
It's just a real quick... Ah! And like,
and right back.
They're running. Okay, things are not good. And then right back to the doctor getting everybody in front of the mirror on that side and basically saying, like, look, I can keep this open, but not for a long time. We've got to go right now. And Eric's like, no, I'm not going. And Graham's like, I don't know if I should go. And Yaz is like, would you all get through the portal?
Yeah. Yaz and the doctor are like, let's go.
But everybody else is dragging their feet and just telling them, like, these are not your wives. These are not your dead wives.
No.
This is a trap. They are fake. Can't you see through them?
This is a universe that is using this body to keep you here.
And she opens up the mirror, like uses the sonic to open and stabilize the portal because the Solitract is fighting against her and keeps like changing things to keep her from opening the portal back up. But opens it up, and as she's straining and trying to tell them to get their butts through the portal, Hannah comes busting through the other side.
Boom, right through it.
And basically tackles the doctor. It's not her fault. She can't see where she's going.
You didn't see her there.
Connection is broken. Ryan is left in the labyrinth.
With the killer moths.
With the killer moths hot on his trail, which he's basically just hugged up against a pillar trying to be Lot's wife and just, I am salt, I am here, don't eat me.
I'm not.
Please don't eat me. Hannah immediately, upon like her father's like, oh, I have somebody special. Look, it's Mom, and
She's like, no.
the mom gives her a big hug, and Hannah's like, I don't
No.
know who you are, but you're not my mother. You're not
This
her.
is not Mom.
Yeah, you're not real. Graham wants to, is like, well, Ryan's back in there. I've got to go open that portal back up. I've got to go help Ryan. And Grace reaches out and screams like, no. And he's like, what do you mean, no?
Yeah.
Which is
like,
the first crack in the armor right there. That was a screw up.
Yeah.
The doctor tells the fake wives that, listen, things are obviously breaking down because the house starts to shake earthquake-wise. Like, you can't handle all of us here. One person, it was fine. You could keep it under control. But we're a whole lot of not supposed to be here. You need to let us go. Yaz basically chews out the fake Grace, saying like, why you stop playing on Graham, stop messing with him. And she immediately gets like force blasted through the portal and sent off into the labyrinth.
You're out.
Hannah, of course, immediately rejects her mother, quote
Also.
unquote mother. Immediately like, all right, well, don't need you again.
Boom.
Unceremoniously just blasted back through the mirror. Graham is completely crippled with indecision.
I mean, do you blame him though?
Yeah, no, I mean,
both
that's a
him
hellish
and Eric.
situation. But he basically says, I don't know what to do. What about going and help Ryan?
I gotta help Ryan.
And Grace is like, well, no, he's a big boy. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. And that's the breaking point. Graham's like, yep,
nope.
You're not her, because she would have never not sent me out to get him. So you're not her. Graham blasted through the portal. Now we're left with the doctor and Eric. Saying Eric's like, no, I'm still staying here.
No, I'm staying.
Like, it's not her. And the doctor's
like,
like, well, wait a
don't
minute. You
care.
only want one of us. So you could have him. He's a boring, broken down guy who's only seen a little bit. I have seen
So much more.
I've seen galaxies. I've seen the entire universe. I have fought more. I have loved more. I have lost more than anybody. Keep me. You don't need him. And of course, the fake wife is just enraptured by what she's saying and not paying attention to Eric whatsoever. That's when it clicks on, oh, yeah, you're not her.
Not
And
at all.
she's like, nope, and force blast
Boom.
through the mirror off into the labyrinth. Now, of course, that crew is scrambling to get the hell out of Dodge, while everything the doctor is experiencing shifts,
Yes.
stabilizes immediately, and changes, and she's walking into this very white
It's almost
room.
like just
It's
a pure white area.
Hello, is there anybody here? And there's a frog sitting on the chair. And I was like, hi. Yeah, no, it's me. Like, why is there a frog talking to me? Because this form delights me. As did Grace's voice delights me.
And it's speaking with Grace's voice.
Right. And doctor's like, well, it's not the weirdest thing I've ever encountered. But
Well, it's a day that ends in Y, right?
yeah, pretty much. Now, and she's trying to talk to the Solitract, and like, why have you done this?
Yeah.
Like, because I miss all of you. I want to be with you. And it's like, okay, that's great. We understand, but, and as she looks down at her hands, which are like phasing back and forth and freaking out, she's like, you see this too, right? You know, me being here, you can't control it. It's destabilizing, and we're both going to die.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm trying to look out for my friends. Like, that's what we could be. We could be friends. Because the doctor's like, I just left reality as I knew it completely behind.
Yeah. You're pretty much going to be my only friend here.
Right. And I was like, well, but listen, this is what friends do. We look out for each other and help each other through things, but we can't be here. You have to let me go, and you know it. But if you do this, I will be your friend forever.
Yeah.
which kind of gives it exactly what it was looking for.
It was lonely.
Yeah.
It was an entire universal consciousness that was lonely.
By itself. It just wanted a friend. It wasn't
Just
trying
like,
to hurt anybody. It wasn't trying to like steal souls or
gonna-
anything like that. Just wanted a buddy.
Yeah. The doctor's gonna receive text messages at like 2:30 in the morning from a drunk universal consciousness. He's like, "Hey, just want to say hi to my friend," and she's like, "God, no, not this again."
What you up to?
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like,
traveling around this dimension. Wish you were here, but you can't be.
I'm like,
Sorry.
but at least we can talk like this. Hey, selfie.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
like
it's just
it'd
this
be like
bright-
having a friend in like a medical bubble. They can't join the party, but you can send them pictures.
Exactly.
Like, wish you were here. I hate you guys. I
love you guys, but I hate you guys.
So the soul attract basically concedes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I will dream of you out there without me. And again, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
See, I really do kind of hope that
Cloyingly
the
sweet, but
Yeah.
just can't be there. And the doctor is very serenely and gently lifted off of her feet and drifted through the portal.
yes.
It's like, okay, she got the nice send off. Everybody else just got
Get
the
out.
boot to the ass out the apartment door,
Get out of
basically.
my house.
Like,
Get out of my house. Okay, you
Like, but
have a wonderful day.
You're my friend here. Let me just gently ease you out the
I
door.
called you an Uber too.
Yeah. Well, didn't go that far because the doctor comes as the rest of the crew finally finds their way to the other portal. They're like, well, you know, what's going on with the doctor? Should we go back? And here comes the doctor doing her flappy arm run.
Just run.
You know, coming out of nowhere, they all get through, and as soon as they're all through, the doctor sonics the mirror, closing off the portal forever. And she's like, no, that's kind of horrible. Well, it will be out there, but I don't think it's ever coming back here again. Kind of sucks. Made a new friend, and I had to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Like,
It was actually just trying to be like, hey, anybody want to come over and hang out?
yeah, want to play some cards? I don't
Yeah.
care what. Go fish.
I mean,
52 pickup. I don't care.
I got a GameCube.
Yeah. Oh, I actually have a bit in my notes. Escape running through anti-zone and breaking the mirror. Everyone's safe except Ribbons.
Yes.
Graham is, of course, the only one sitting. He's just emotionally crushed right now. He's just kind of floating. He's literally been put through the ringer.
Like, you start to think that Graham is finally, you know, accepted
Dealing with it,
and
yeah.
dealing with Grace's death, and then Grace is right there. It's just like, oh, I have to do this all over again.
Right. And we get to what we presume is the next day, or at least later on. Everybody's standing outside, and Hannah and Eric are all smiles and laughing, and things are good. Like, I think we're gonna go back to Oslo, you know, to Wi-Fi and friends and all that. And
Yeah.
Hannah gives Ryan a big hug. It was like, yeah, thanks. You really kind of saved my butt. I like you now. Like,
You
and
were a
Ryan,
dick,
of course,
but-
was all just smiles, like, hey, the girls like me, and the Kings. But we won't go there again. That was last episode. Everybody loves Ryan, apparently.
Yeah.
And you know, they Team TARDIS heads off towards the TARDIS, and Graham kind of straggles behind for a moment, and
He's walking slower.
as they're heading there, the doctor makes a comment about the sheep. So the sheep have finally moved on. They're probably off plotting something. Like, again, what happened with the sheep? We
Yeah.
need that episode.
I
I want
wanna
the
know-
Woolly Rebellion episode.
I want to know that story.
Mostly because I think the CGI on that would be hysterical. I see like the mattress sheep with like bazookas. And,
Bouncing along.
yeah. No, as Graham is kind of lagging behind, wistfully looking off to the fjord, Ryan comes up behind him and is like, all right, so, well, I heard you saw her. And Graham's like, yeah, but It wasn't her.
It wasn't really
Not
her.
really. Ryan's like, well, you know, at least we still have each other, Granddad. And Graham just blinks for a second. Like, what did you just call me? Like, what are you going deaf in your old age, old man? Come on, let's go. And off he goes. And at that moment, I'm like, give him the fist bump. Now is the time. Give him the fist bump.
Oh no, it would have been
Fist
better.
bump denied.
Graham goes, huh? And then
Like,
no.
How long
go.
are we going to keep doing this until the running joke is no longer funny? And then
Exactly.
probably 2 episodes after that. But that gives Graham kind of the smile that he needs. Like, Ryan just called me Granddad. He thinks of me as his grandfather, as family, and that helps a lot. So he gets a little smile and heads off to the TARDIS, and it disappears into the ether. And we end the episode on a really like heart-wrenching episode.
Yeah, it goes
on
from
an upswing and kind of a kind of moment, which was desperately needed after a really kind of heavy episode.
It does a wonderful balance of being heavy, but at the same time not being preachy.
No, there are moments of levity to break it up. You know, once again, you know, bless Ryan and Graham. They are definitely the Castor and Pollux of the friggin' group.
They are there for the comedic delight.
Yes.
So yeah, now we're on to next week, episode 9 of series 11.
The technical finale.
The Battle of Ranskour Av Kolos. I hope I pronounced that.
Pronunciation to be found out next week when it
Yeah.
airs. Or Sunday when it airs, I should say.
Yes. And we'll be talking about that in our next episode. So yeah, go ahead and give us check us out next week, Thursday, as always. And Matt, have a wonderful week.
You as well, sir.
And yes.
We'll see you when the TARDIS shows up.